So there's this common misconception that Tesla owners don't pay road taxes because they don't buy gasoline. But in many states, Tesla owners are actually paying more road tax than gas drivers. In fact, in over 30 states, EV drivers are now paying more road tax than gasoline drivers. And in some states, the EV tax is so high, it's like driving a gas-guzzling truck that only gets about 12 miles per gallon. Stick with me for a moment, and I'm going to break down which states are Tesla-friendly and which states are, well, not so Tesla-friendly. So let me explain. Since the gas tax funds our roads and repairs and things like that, and electric vehicles don't buy gasoline, the states basically created this EV road use fee to replace the lost tax revenue. And the states do this even though we pay tax on our electricity that we use when charging. But let's not get into the weeds of being double taxed and all that sort of stuff. That's a dark road we don't really have time to go down today. So the average driver travels roughly 12,000 to 15,000 miles per year, and on average most cars get about 25 miles per gallon, roughly. And the internal combustion engine vehicles typically pay about $120 to $180 in gas tax annually. But instead of paying a gas tax at the pump, Tesla owners pay a flat annual EV road use fee. Those fees jump to about $200 to $250 per year in some states. So that means in some states, Tesla owners are effectively paying the equivalent road tax of driving a 12 mile per gallon piece of junk pickup truck. So to start out, let's get the friendly states out of the way. These states either charge very little or practically nothing extra for EVs, and they are highlighted in gold on our map. And as you can see, there aren't many of them. And these states are Alaska, Florida, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, and Colorado. Next, we'll look at the neutral states. These generally try to match the average gas tax paid by internal combustion engine owners, and these fees can range from $75 to $175 per vehicle, and most of them have moderate EV fees tagged onto that range from $100 to $150 annually. I've highlighted these states in a friendly blue color on our map. The moderate EV road use fee states are Arizona, California, Colorado, Delaware, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, and Virginia, which does an 85% of gas tax equivalent formula. And Pennsylvania, though it's setting at 250, they're starting to phase out and lower things down currently. These states still charge EV drivers, but the fee is generally closer to the actual gas tax replacement levels in those states. Now, here are the states that are not very Tesla friendly at all. These states charge around $200 or more every year, and in some cases up to $250, just for owning an electric vehicle. Unfortunately, I live in one of those states, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about and what I pay for my Tesla and road tax fees, registration, and all that compared to my wife's Volkswagen. And these states effectively charge EV owners the equivalent of or more than what an average gasoline driver would pay in gas tax. The first one is Alabama at $200, Arkansas at $200, Georgia at $200 plus, Indiana at $221 to $230. I think mine is actually much higher than that. And Michigan is depending on the vehicle. New Jersey all the way up to $290, which is insane. Ohio $200, Tennessee $200 to $274, Texas $200, West Virginia $200, Wisconsin $175 to $200, Wyoming $200, In Washington, 150 to 225 depending on fees. These are often considered the least friendly on taxes alone because the fee can exceed the typical gasoline tax payments that everybody else is paying. Unfortunately, I live in one of these states, and I'm going to show you here exactly what I'm talking about for my Tesla and the road taxes and registration I pay compared to my wife's Volkswagen. Okay, so as you can see, here is a screenshot of our state's website here with our Volkswagen. It's a 2019. It's a model Atlas SEL. It's a fairly big vehicle, and what we are paying right now is $127.35 for our plates and registration, and that's pretty much it for the year. Pretty simple, not too bad. Now, here is our Tesla. It's a 2026. It is a Model Y, and we are paying $729.35 for our plates, registration, and all the fees that go with owning an EV in the state of Indiana. So if you're thinking about buying a Tesla, it's worth checking what your state charges, because depending on where you live, you might actually pay more for the road tax than gas drivers pay. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and have a good day.